So this is our second lesson on the Persian Empire, with our background for our Greeks versus Persians, part of ancient history. And this lesson we're going to learn more about the Persian Empire. Last lesson we saw how it started, now we're going to see a bit how it's run, how it survived. We're going to understand its success. And we're going to develop our analytical skills. We're going to think, well, how come this empire worked so well? Keywords are satrap and satrapy, areas of land. A satrap is a bit like a governor of a province. A satrapy is a province, a part of the empire, and the satrap is the guy who runs it for the king. Communications, sending messages. Royal road, messenger, religion, Zoroastrian. This is the religion of the Persians. They were Zoroastrians. Ahura Mazda is their god. Truth versus lie, light versus darkness. These are the key ideas within their religion. Truth and lies, light and darkness. And tolerance. If you are willing to accept other people's beliefs and the way they want to live their life, you are what we call tolerant, and the Persians were very tolerant. So, let's start. Once the Persians had this empire, how was it run? Now this empire, as we discussed previous lesson, is enormous. Turkey, Egypt, part of North Africa, a little bit of Greece here, Syria, Armenia, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, India. Massive, thousands of miles, millions of people. So it gets divided into areas called satrapies. Down here, Persepolis is the capital. The king moves between here and Susa and Ecbatana, other places occasionally, but basically the empire is split into satrapies. Egypt, Lydia, Cilicia, Syria, and loads of others. And each area has its own governor, its own ruler, referred to as a satrap, often a relative of the king. So the king hasn't got to do all himself. He leaves it up to officials called satraps. As long as they supply him with troops and they supply him with money, he leaves them alone to run their part of the empire. So what's the biggest problem with running this empire? Let's go back to the map. Communications are the big problem. Yeah? Communications are the massive problem. And to solve this problem, Persians built up, extended, other people had before, a massive system of roads, here in red, called royal roads, from the key words. These royal roads helped the empire, helped the king stay in contact with different parts of the empire. I'll give you some examples of this. These roads, you needed permission to be on them. You couldn't just use them. If you didn't have permission, the punishment was death. You had to keep out of the way. These roads were for people on official business for the king. Yeah? Sending messengers. In this way, a messenger could reach one side of the empire to the other in about 2 weeks on horseback, which was in those days unheard of speed of communication. And 2 acres, what did not exist? Well, all the methods we'd use today to communicate simply didn't exist. No radios, no computers, no phones, no TV, no nothing. Messages had to be sent in person by messengers. So the emperor had a system of messengers. Guys on horseback, travelling around the empire for him, giving his messengers. Bringing the messages back to him, telling what was going on in various different parts of the empire. It was basically the Persian royal mail system. Yeah. And so, like I say, 2 weeks to get a message from one side of the empire to the other was unbelievably quick for those days. Unbelievably. These messengers, they travel all day they'd reach a certain station along the royal road, stop, be fed, be given a fresh horse, and carry on their way. And in that way, the messages were transmitted very quickly for the ancient world. Right, last bit for today on this lesson. How did the Persians use religion? So I said in the keywords, the Persians are what's called Zoroastrians. Here's the symbol of their god. Their god is called Ahura Mazda. The Persians were very early what we call monotheists. I'm going to write that word in here, in fact. Monotheists. A monotheist is somebody who believes in one God. Yeah. A bit like Christians and Muslims and Jews. Remember, Persians were there before all these people. They're monotheists. They believe in Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda is the god of light, in an eternal battle with the god of the dark. That's truth versus lie. Light versus darkness. So, once you've got that religion, early Persian kings, particularly Cyrus and Darius started this, said, well, we are not gods, we're not Egyptians. You know, Egyptian pharaohs said they were gods, they didn't say that. They said, aha, we are the messengers of the gods. Yeah? That's how they used it, first bit. They said there's one God, we don't expect everyone to follow this God, but we as kings of Persia, we are the servants of that God. And B, you haven't got to follow our God, but you've got to do what we say. And if you don't do what we say, if you don't obey our orders, you're a demon, Deva. You worship the darkness, and therefore it's okay to declare war on you. Go over all this in a bit more detail in class.